Alright, so this is a quick work live. Don't think anybody will really pop in. Anyway, apparently, the Paul brothers, Jake Paul and Logan Paul, the Disney star dropout, and the Suicide Forest laughing guy, have decided to take up boxing. They've boxed KSI and Deji. Deji whooped Logan Paul twice. I still say the draw was a bit of an if anyway. Along with the second fight, it was still an if, but they both made money, so I feel like it was all choreographed the way it was. Because for people who showed such skill on the bag, not a single fucking one of them could throw an accurate punch to save their life. KSI was all over the map with haymakers. Logan Paul had a couple good jabs, I'll give him that, but other than that, he had no real power behind him. I feel like I could knock him the fuck out personally, with the little bit of training that I have, with the skills of street fighting that I do. And it's actually fucking raining. It's been snowing all day and now it's pissing on me. That's lovely. Gotta love nature. Anyway, the fact that those two, first off, Logan Paul has lost both fights he's been in. Jake Paul has won 2 of the 3, if I'm not mistaken. Three, because he did some weird amateur thing. Now I haven't been following him, so I don't know what actual boxing they've been doing. But if it hasn't been some huge speculated event, then I haven't paid attention to shit. Because if it has been recommended, I don't know about it because I don't watch their shit. I personally can't stand either one of them. Logan, to me, he's not as bad. Jake drives me fucking nuts. Jake is he's just a pretentious little cocksucker. He really is, and I don't care if YouTube gets mad at me for saying it. He really is. He's just a Disney star asshole. You know, everybody who's worked with him, even his friends don't like him. You have people leaving the fucking house that he's got and all that other stuff because of the way he acts. He just seems like he doesn't seem like he had a good upbringing. Shit's just went to his head. And I feel bad for the kid. I'd love to actually sit down and talk to him and figure out what's going on with him, but that'll never happen. Same with Jake Paul. I'd love to talk to Jake Paul. Jake Paul, I think, would be cool as hell. I could get along with Jake Paul. And I don't even give a shit about the Suicide Forest stuff. That's just a big old hullabaloo, in my opinion, you know. Filming the body, yeah, I can understand why. Making jokes, we have the same kind of attitude when it comes to that stuff. But anyway, 6 of one, half a dozen at this point. Jake Paul and Floyd Money Mayweathers are going to fight, don't quote me on this, February 20th. Okay, that's kind of funny. You have an amateur YouTuber who's going, and a full-blown YouTuber, who's going to fight a professional boxer and get his head torn off his fucking shoulders. Logan is going to die. Jake Paul is calling out Conor McGregor, the world's baddest MMA fighter right now. Now, Conor ain't gonna pull punches and he ain't gonna lose. Conor's still in the game. If I'm not mistaken, Mayweather's is actually retired, the last I heard. After his Conor McGregor fight, he said he was retiring. Now, they're both money addicts, Logan and Mayweather's. And since this wouldn't actually count against his official boxing record, what I think is going to happen is there is a chance that people are going to bet for Conor, obviously, just like people are going to bet for Mayweather's. Now, with the Mayweather's fight, this is where I think it's going to go funny, because it's not going to count towards his actual score since it's an amateur event. I feel like either it's going to be a neither knockout, and they're going to go the full rounds, or he's going to knock Logan out in the first round, which I'm pretty sure he'll knock him out in the first round if he's not playing with him. But there is a small chance that since they are in it for the money, because why else would fucking Mayweather's be doing this? Mayweather's has nothing to prove. Mayweather takes a dive in something that's not going to count against his official boxing record, and they're going to make millions. Because people are going to bet that Mayweather's is going to knock Logan out in the first, second, third, whatever round. So if they draw it out, and Mayweather's is playing with him, the people who bet it for the first round, you know, obviously aren't going to get their money. But the people who bet for Mayweather to knock out Logan, and then Logan knocks out Mayweather, there you go. They just lost millions, but those two made millions. And now that you don't have just YouTubers doing it, you have a YouTuber versus a big boxing star, do you think anybody in their right mind wouldn't bet for Mayweather's? And that's what I'm saying. It's all about the money, and that's probably what's going to happen. They're going to go last 10 rounds, and Mayweather's not even going to be really fighting, or he's going to knock Logan out, or Logan's going to somehow knock him out, and go from there. And I don't really see Conor McGregor fighting Jake Paul. I just don't. I really don't. Because Conor is just an absolute, one, he's a dick, but he's a good dick. He's a cool dick. But to me, that's what I foresee happening. Is Mayweather throws the fight, since it's not actually going to go to his actual boxing career, and he's retired the way it is. So if he can make him a last, Jesus Christ, I think him and KSI made like 20 million apiece, something like that with their bout. Could you imagine what Mayweather and Conor McGregor would bring in? People who have been, watching them, people who are fans of them, people, who would bet for them. And if, say, McGregor or even Mayweather's were to throw a fight, I mean, the Paul brothers are going to make it big, and so are they. If they have some sort of split contract shit working. And I guarantee you they do. Because that's what him and KSI had. They both made the same amount of fucking money. They took all the bets that were put towards Logan Paul winning, and when KSI won, there you go. I know what I'm saying kind of sounds off, but it does make sense. The fact that Mayweather's not boxing anymore, Conor McGregor's still fighting. Conor McGregor is not going to take a fucking L for his career, and he's not going to be the guy that lost to Jake Paul. He's going to tear Jake Paul's fucking head off in the first 30 seconds. I can promise you. Jake Paul does not have a chance of survival. That is, I don't even see Conor actually fighting him, because Conor wouldn't even see him as a fucking threat. He'd come in there playing with him like he's 5 years old. Like a cat and a mouse. That's all the hell it would be. That's why I say Mayweather's would be the one that I would see potentially throwing the fight or dragging it out all the way to where it would become a draw in the end for a second bout, just like what happened with the KSI one. And do you see how much shit that KSI and Logan Paul talked about each other, how badass they were, and then when the fight actually came to fruition, they were both shit? Like, sure, they got a little in shape. KSI looked like a goddamn bloated circus clown, and Logan Paul looked like he was fucking lost. I don't know. That's my take on it. I feel like some shady shit's gonna go down. And, I mean, if I'm thinking what I'm thinking, then I'm betting on Logan. I hate to say it, but that's the only thing I can think of. But then again, Mayweather's might not be fucking around, and it might not be like that, and then, voting for Mayweather's and betting on Mayweather's, and he knock out Logan within the first 10 seconds. Because pound for pound, Mayweather's maybe smaller than Jake Paul, but at the same time, Mayweather's a hell of a lot faster and a better fighter than Jake Paul is, or Logan Paul. So I don't know. Everybody's talking about the age difference. It's like an 18-year age difference between them. Logan's in like his 30s, or his mid-20s by now, early 30s, something like that. And Mayweather's is in his 40s. And everybody's like, oh, that means so much. That means Logan has the age advantage. No, it doesn't. Age does not have any ability against skill. I've watched old men knock out 3 and 4 people at a time, and he's in his 60s. They're in their teens. If you can't fight a fucking person that's been fighting their entire life and fighting for years, you have no chance. So I'm going to enjoy the rest of my break. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this weird little live here. I might delete this one and remake this later when I'm not working on a time crunch and I get home today. I have no idea when I'll get home today. But as it sits, later guys. What is the